I'm going to give you some strategies. When you're doing -4, an easy way to keep track of what you're doing is to split it into a -2 and a -2. So you would go back, if I said what's 10 minus 4, you would go 9, 8, 7, 6. So that if someone's sharpening their pencil, or if someone talks in class, or if somebody comes into the room, that you can kind of keep track that you've already done 2 and you only have to do 2 more. Sometimes kids are like 1 off because they try to chunk the whole 4 together, and I have found that it's easier to just go 9, 8, 7, 6. You're doing the same thing, but we're just kind of splitting it into 2 phases. Does that make sense? Okay. 8 minus 4, we would do 7, 6, 5, 4. 9 minus 4, we would do 8, 7, 6, 5. Make sense? Pretty easy. And then these ones are next door neighbors. So how many jumps do you live next to your next door neighbor? How many jumps, if you were jumping from house to house, how many jumps would it take to go from your house to your neighbor's house?
16.
Well, yeah, if you were jumping in real life, probably 16. But if this was the house and this was the house, how many jumps is that?
1.
1 jump. So if a number is next door to another number on the number line, like 1 is next to 2, 2 is next to 3, 3 is next to 4, 4 is next to 5, 5 is next to 6, 6 is next to 7, 7 is next to 8, and 8 is next to 9, 9 is next to 10, then the answer is 1. So 10 minus 9, 1. 9 minus 8, 1. 8 minus 7, 1. 7 minus 6, 1. 6 minus 5, 1. 5 minus 4, 1. This will become your favorite math fact, maybe. Maybe. What do you think? It's a pretty good one. The answer is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 4 minus 3, 1. 3 minus 2, 1. 2 minus 1, 1. So that makes sense, right? Okay, for the other ones, I'm pretty sure that your teacher taught you a turnaround fact. Does that sound familiar to you? Turnaround fact? Okay, so I'll explain what it is. When we have a number that's not a -1 or a -2 or a -3 or a -4 or a next door neighbor, we can figure it out by, my guess is you like addition better than subtraction. Do I have a good guess there? Okay, so a good strategy is to turn it to an addition fact. So we're going to take the small number, which is 7, and we're going to add it to a blank, and that's going to equal 10. Most of the time, kids can go, oh, 3, because adding is easier for us. So we take the small number plus blank equals the big number. So does that make sense to you? 7 plus 3 equals 10?
Not really.
That doesn't make sense. Okay, it will. We'll keep working with it. 9 minus 6. What is the small number? 9 or 6?
6.
So we're going to write down the 6, and we're going to say plus blank. What is the big number?
9.
Yep. 6 plus what is 9? What would I put in that blank?
11.
So if I was at 6 on the number line and I wanted to get to 9, how many jumps would I have to go?
6.
So if I was at 6, here's 6, I would go 1, 2, 3. So basically you're counting up from 6, 7, 8, 9, 3 jumps. Does that kind of make sense a little teeny bit, or still kind of confusing?
confusing.
Okay. It will get easier, I promise. Okay. Now, for your reading, you said you wanted to read your unicorn diaries, right? Okay, so this is what you and Mom are going to do. This is not the unicorn diaries. This is Nate the Great. But she's going to set a timer for 1 minute. And do you have 20 minutes of reading minutes for Britton Acres?
No.
Oh, you don't have to read for homework?
Well, sometimes.
Okay. So on the days that you're not with me, which is hardly, it's just 3 days, you don't have to do the weekends. Mom is going to set a timer for 1 minute and you're going to read. So she's going to set a timer and then she's going to hit go and you're going to say, "This morning, my dog Sludge and I were getting ready for the party. The doorbell rang." And then you're going to read and the timer's going to go off. You're going to go right back up to where you started and you're going to read again and you're going to get farther each time. So you might get down to here this time. And then you're going to come back up for the last minute. Mom's going to set the timer and then you're going to read it a third time. And then you'll get all the way down to maybe here or here. And you're going to do that for 20 minutes on the weekdays. And you know what's going to happen to your reading score? It is going to go all the way up to a second grade reading level pretty quickly. And that's where we want you by September. And you're going to get there way faster than September. So, does that make sense? Do you have any questions about that?
No.
Okay, awesome. And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, when you were reading, sometimes the vowels get a little tricky, so I'm just going to go over A, E, I, O, and U. So A makes A, like at. E makes like end. Is E and I sometimes confusing for you? When do you say and when do you say I?
It's kind of confused.
Yeah, so I don't know if you like drawing, but we can make a road, and this is the start of the road, and this is the end. I makes I like igloo, so we can draw an igloo, and we can keep that in our head. I for igloo. And then O, can you guess what this is?
Spider.
It does kind of look like a spider. Let me draw it bigger. How about that? I'll give you a hint. It's in the water. It's an octopus. Octopus. So O makes for octopus. And then U makes for up. So I'm just going to draw an arrow that's pointing up. And you can memorize this. And then when you see an E, 100% of the time, you're going to say instead of what you might have to guess. And then I is igloo. Now, there are exceptions to that, but that's what we're going to do for just right now. E makes and I makes it. So if you want to draw this, you can draw it and keep it at your desk. And then, have you ever seen a sign like this? It's like an A with a circle around it. That's how you can make at. It stands for at. So do you want to draw that?